we each give one prediction on a game or something that Nintendo's going to do for next year. All right, Clappy, go first.
Clappy.
I am hoping
Clappy?
that they will.
Yeah, because she is a dolphin.
Thanks, Clappy. I'm hoping that they will put another emulator on Nintendo Switch because we know that they have the coding for it and that they have the ability and they just have to press go. That's my hope. Because we got NES, we got SNES.
What if it's an emulator for their mobile games? And then you get Mario Kart or Super Mario Go and Animal
You don't even have to emulate
Planet,
that because they're
Pocket.
already putting their mobile games on there. Like that stupid, sorry if anyone likes this, but the Pokemon Cafe game, you can play on the Switch or you can play mobile.
Oh.
And I really suggest that you only play it on your cell phone and not on the Nintendo Switch because it's just not worth the waste of space.
I was just joking, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Wait, but actually, what like system? We have the Nintendo Entertainment System, we have the Super Nintendo. What would you want to do? Like Game Boy? N64?
I know that the N64 information was there, and I think they... I can't remember, there were 3 that we had mentioned a while back, but I can't remember. But I just remember N64 was on there, so that's probably the one that I'm thinking.
They're still on that boat.
Pretty cool. Shameless plug. I was on Nintendo Prime's podcast, and this came up, actually.
Whoa!
And what a coinkydink. And my biggest hesitancy with the N64 is, like, for the NES and the Super Nintendo, the Switch's controller buttons are like a 1-to-1 fit.
Yeah.
Perfect matchup. The N64's controller is its very own, very unique thing. And I'm unsure of how they would translate that to the Switch's control scheme.
Do you like the GameCube format?
Game Boy Advance, all of that would, I think, be perfect. I don't know why they haven't done it already. But
what about the
N64?
GameCube format? Like when you play
The GameCube
Collector's
format?
Edition with a GameCube controller.
I was also going to say, like, if you think about on the Wii, you can get, like, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. These are games that came out on N64, but we were able to map them to a different controller. So, like, I've played these games with my GameCube controller because that's how you connect it on the Wii. So I don't think that's too far out of the realm of possibility, but I can think of a couple games where I think that would be a little more complicated because there's definitely some games where you want to hold the middle and the right side. And then I think there's only mini games where you have to hold both of the outside parts.
What game is this? What game is in here?
Not Super Smash Bros.
I mean, I guess there's not Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, based on what you've said.
Nice.
Okay.
I borrowed this from someone 15 years ago.
You what? Jesse! Actually, you know what that reminds me of? Here's a true story. My ex-girlfriend borrowed my copy of Wind Waker, and then we broke up, and I never got it back from her.
So she borrowed it permanently.
Yeah, well, initially it was just a genuine borrowing.
Ex-girlfriends are kind of notorious for this. I have a guy friend, and when he broke up with his girlfriend, she cleaned out all of his GameCube games and all of his Wii games, and stole his Steam account.
Wow.
It's from Japan.
Because I went over, and I was like, oh, cool, you have this game, and I opened it, and I was like, never mind, it's empty, and he was like, yeah, she took all that.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yep.
Well, I guess I can count my blessings that it was just Wind Waker, and I ended up buying another copy, and then I ended up buying the HD version, so, I mean, it's probably fine, right?
Yeah. Anyways, any other 2021 predictions?
Yeah, Nintendo will announce 3 Zelda games.
3?
Before the end of 2021.
So, are you thinking, like, remake?
Port.
Spin-off?
Spin-off? That's kind of what I was thinking. I don't think we're gonna get, like, our next Zelda
2
game.
2 original. 1 remake, not counting the mobile game.
Every time you say the mobile game, my heart breaks a
Yeah,
little.
I just cringed.
It is confirmed that, like they said long ago, they were making after Animal Crossing. So
Maybe they canceled it quietly, like they
did
did with
it?
Star Fox.
Really?
Don't you think
ballsy.
they would say something if they canceled it?
Yeah, not necessarily.
So that's not releasing, that's just announcing. That's 3.
Okay.
And Breath of the Wild 2 is already announced, so that doesn't
Yeah.
count. So 2 original, 1 remake.
I mean, frankly, I want that to be true.
Sure.
I would
wanna swap
cry.
out one of the originals for a port, if I'm being honest. I know that's
And I want to
For me,
say,
that's how I'd feel.
I
that
want-
sounds greedy and a little bit backwards, but
on the last predictions, my E3 predictions from last year came true. So
Oh yes.
yep. All right.
I like
To
to
my
remind people.
delight and many tears.
Because there was a lot of comments on the videos like, Jesse, stupid, why would they have 3 different Zelda games at E3? And I'm like,
I remember when they were
They told
announcing, you
me.
were like, 1, 2, 3. I was right.
Boom.
I remember being like throwing out there, "Oh, Pokemon paid DLC," and even I was like, "That's not gonna happen." And
It
then 2 days
happened.
later, they announced it, and I was
yeah.
like, "Guys, I did a thing."
You did it.
Speaking of paid DLC, that's my prediction: paid DLC
Oh.
for Animal Crossing.
Oh, I hope not. I really hope not. I'd be
Really?
so upset.
See,
Don't
I
they
want
already
it though.
have-
There's so much missing.
Don't they have paid
So
stuff
much
for
missing.
Pocket
But
Camp?
that's the thing. There's so
Right
much
now they're
missing
kind of.
that-
Don't they have paid stuff for Pocket Camp?
Do they? I
That
don't know.
doesn't count.
They're kind of drip feeding a lot of
We
things.
have for
So-
Pocket Camp is like you can buy tokens and tickets, or you can pay for like a camp or like one of the campers to follow you and do tasks and stuff.
So couldn't like the stuff you pay for in Pocket Camp, they just do the
So you
same
can pay
thing
for
and
manual labor.
other?
Yeah, there's
See,
stuff I liked in Pocket Camp, like item wise, not playing wise. That I'm like, why isn't this in the game yet?
There-
I mean, I'd prefer it if it's not paid DLC, but I feel like that's the route they might go because, like I said, there's so much missing.
I would be so upset because they released an unfinished Animal Crossing game. Like, I'm gonna come out there and say that. This game is
Yeah.
unfinished. There's so much that they're missing, and they know that they're missing. And their rationale for it is that they just basically want to drag this game out as long as they possibly can because they know they don't have anything lined up. They know that Animal Crossing is currently carrying them through this year. And that's a bummer, and that realization sucks. But if they were to release a DLC, I personally would be really mad because, first of all, everything that they'd want to release is not going to be new content because all we're seeing right now is reused content from other games. So if they did a paid DLC for that, I'd be like, Nintendo, I'm out. I can't do this
At
anymore.
least be new stuff.
Right? If it were new stuff, yes.
What
but
kind of
knowing
new stuff would you
Nintendo,
want?
They would sneak in so much that was like, should have already been there.
And there's
This
a
is
lot
my
of little
nightlight.
things they need to fix too. Lots of little things. Like I mean, I've poured almost 500 hours into the game. It's not like we don't like it.
Yeah.
But
Touche.
there's a lot of things that I'm like, come on. This really should have. I'm still wondering where the heck the gyroids are.
The what? That's
Games
amazing.
that we're not seeing them in, and it drives me crazy.
I miss the gyroids. That like my mom used to fill her basement with every gyroid she could get just to have all these stupid sounds going.
I love when you could store them with Brewster and when that was a thing. Because
Yeah,
it feels
where's
like
Brewster?
selling them. And everyone wants a coffee shop. Everyone's building their
I
own.
know,
Give us
right?
Brewster.
Yeah,
I'm
built
so
mine.
I have
upset
my own.
about it.
Sorry. We're angry.
Rawr.
Careful when it comes to Kayla and I in Animal Crossing.
I feel like their unfinishedness with Animal Crossing is okay because they're kind of drip feeding things out,
Yeah.
and I'm okay with that personally because it does. You say drag the game out, but like it stops it from getting old, I guess.
Yeah.
Without all
and
these
it's
updates,
also,
and
I'm
also-
like a lot of that time traveling as well, which is a nice aspect.
There's that,
and
too.
I do really appreciate it. But it's just so annoying seeing stuff that had come day one of other games that they're just kind of like, you know what? Everyone really liked this. So what if we give you a game with absolutely nothing new other than the ability to like be able to craft stuff and get recipes, and then just start adding all the things that they used to have? So
See-
like,
Right.
as a seasoned Animal Crossing player, that's disappointing to me because I'm not seeing new content.
Yeah.
someone from
I'm okay
Nintendo.
with like I'm
Sorry.
okay with like the seasonal stuff of like, okay, not every Christmas is gonna be the same. Like, I think they learned from this year's Bunny Day. I think they learned. Like, oh, people did not like Bunny Day. We're gonna fix that next year. So that was one upside. But like you said, there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, this really should have been here from the get-go.
Zipper
Or
comes
things
back.
that, what was I doing? Oh, I was playing the DLC Isle of Armor, and I went to buy new clothing, and I could buy multiple things in one get-go. And I was thinking about, I love Animal Crossing, I love the 𝐲𝐽 sisters, but I'm like, why can't I buy 2 colors of the same dress at once? Why do I have to buy everything separate, walk out, walk back in? You know, there's a lot of little things that I'm like, maybe this is something only seasoned Animal Crossing fans follow, but I know some of this is stuff that I know Daniel's brought up and been like, yeah, also weird.
It's a good,
So-
like, for example, if you're ordering something through Nook Shopping, which is like an online catalog order, why do you have to have cash in your pocket to pay for it? That makes no actual sense.
You're standing at the machine that holds your money.
And we used to have something.
or even using your phone to order it. Like,
Yeah, and City Folk, I actually don't remember for New Leaf, but I know for City Folk, we had a little card. It was basically a debit card. So you could
didn't have
hold
that in New Leaf.
millions of bells.
Yeah.
And because you went to the city and you wanted room in your pockets. But I'm like, can we have that back? I would like that so that when I visit a friend's island and they have the $1 million bell crown, even though I already bought that. Like, I'm at a point where I have almost 4 million bells in my savings because I've paid off everything.
oh,
Only 4 million?
20 million bells.
I buy a lot of stuff. I buy a lot of stuff unnecessarily.
Okay, but here's a weird thought. Why are the only, aside from just like multi-selecting things, like say I want to buy this shirt in 5 different colors and I don't want to keep going in and out of the dressing room buying it, but also why are my only options to wear it or send it to my house's storage?
Right?
Why can't I not just put it in my pocket?
And then
Because
I
a lot of the time what I'll do,
put it on.
because this is what I do, is I'll buy gifts for my villagers, for example, and a lot of times it's clothing that I'm like, oh, Punchy would look great in that sweater. I'm going to buy this sweater for Punchy, right? And so then what I'll do is I'll go into 𝐲𝐽 sisters, take off my shirt, then go into the dressing room and buy it, and then wear it, and then change back to my normal clothes
Such a good idea.
so that I don't have to go back home to get it.
That's like,
This makes no sense. If you're wearing your construction helmet and you
Yeah.
go in, it automatically gets rid of it. If you're wearing your swimsuit, they tell you need to take your swimsuit off before going in. And I'm like,
Why can't you just automatically do it?
I get this game is intended for 10-year-olds, but let's be honest, it's mostly 20-year-olds who need a getaway. Also, I didn't know this till yesterday that from March to the end of June, that game sold 22 million copies. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, that was the Animal Crossing is the
good.
#1 selling original Switch game.
it's
Yep.
number 2.
number
No, no,
two.
it's behind Mario Kart Deluxe, which
Mario
is
Kart 8 Deluxe.
a remake.
But Mario Kart 8
Right.
Deluxe
It's not
has
an
had, like,
original.
2 years. Oh, okay, fair. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
I
like
was like,
the
I
best-selling original.
And it's because it's for everyone. It came out at very good timing. Everyone thought it was going to tank
Oh, yeah.
because of that. And I'm like, ooh.
Best
No.
timing. It was basically
Best
like
timing.
everyone is self-isolating and stuck in their houses. Time to give you the escape. You're home away from home.
Yep.
I remember
And also
starting the stream and I
basically-
legit just started crying. I was so happy.
And do you remember when everyone was so
Yeah.
mad that they delayed it?
I mean, okay, so
Okay with that.
I have
Was
my
it
ups and
delayed
downs
so
with
much
that.
as...
Well, they delayed
Okay.
it, but then I feel like we didn't really. I don't
And
know.
then the tease for Smash Brothers. Do you guys
Oh.
remember?
The one that was on like that tournament
Yeah.
island stage in Smash, and people thought it was
Didn't
Animal
you,
Crossing.
you thought it was Animal Crossing? Geek. The
Yeah,
Smash Bros thing.
And then they were like, it's Isabel coming to Smash. And I was like,
How
I hate
dare
everything.
Yeah.
Because I've now sat through 2 game, whatever that show is. The thing that has the same
Oh, the Game
initials
Awards?
as the Game Awards, has the same initials as my channel. Because I remember like some YouTuber was like, I'm gonna watch TGA tonight, and I was like,
That's me.
oh no, humble yourself, no. But I remember sitting through 2 of those and like, I started watching these too late. Why couldn't I have started watching when like Breath of the Wild won Game of the Year or something? No, my experience was that weird
You got
satanic ritual thing going on, and I'm sitting here like, I don't want to see this. I don't.
What are you
there are-
talking about?
I don't know. There was some game that
Why
like
miss that?
some girl was chanting something. It was really cool graphics, like it was really legit. And I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. And then I see limbs hanging everywhere. And I'm like, oh, this is gross. And then it changes, and she's like, got like this crazy makeup on. Her hair looks really cool. It's like dreadlocks. And I'm just like, like
Yeah,
this is not
you
what I want
hated
to see. Bring me back to the Muppets doing Untitled Beaker game.
Oh no.
Also, I'm like both happy and mad Untitled Goose Game is getting a physical copy because I'm like, I want a physical copy, but I already have it.
Right? It's like same with Cadence, I think, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Is it?
As
Oh.
well. Yeah, and it's like I already bought this game though.
To be fair, someone
Hey.
bought Cadence for me. But still,
We're friends with the guy. Well, sort
I
of
was gonna say,
friends with the Cadence
Cadence, I got
people.
I got that as a review code.
Yeah, they've wanted to come on a bunch of times, and I always schedule for them to come on, but then we never have the podcast on the day that we schedule for them to come on, and I'm just like, I'm sorry.
No.
But every single
Just
time,
hurry
every single time, they're just like, oh, well, next time, man. But like they seem like they're really interested, and I'm like, okay.
The guys who do Cadence,
Yeah,
they're a Vancouver-based studio, right? They're in my city.
that's why they gave us the codes.
All right, Daniel, let's go do an in-person interview with them.
Sweet. I'm going. See ya.
Whoa, I'm coming with.
Cause didn't you talk to him about did we have them on?
No.
No.
You talked to someone about an ice dungeon music thing.
That was for Blossom Tales.
Oh,
As soon as you
did
said
we
Ice
talk to the
Dungeon
Blossom
music, I was
Tales
like,
people?
Oh. I
Did
don't
we-
know if we had them on. I don't think so.
I don't think
Why were you
we
talking
did. I got
about
the
ice
review code
things?
I got the review code for that one, and I remember we did a segment where I spoke about it, but I don't remember actually talking to the people behind Blossom
I remember
Tales.
somewhat Daniel
Except on
talking
Twitter.
about ice, and then someone from the game replying about the ice.
Maybe they showed up to the chat. That seems like because
What
they're
was
really,
the game
they're
you
on
were
Twitter.
talking
They're
about
very
before
responsive.
Blossom Tales?
Cadence.
Oh, okay. I got mixed up. I was thinking Cadence was Blossom Tales. Okay, never mind. We're
No,
not
different.
friends with the Cadence people.
We got really
okay.
derailed.
yeah.
Did we?
We got really angry about Animal
Doesn't
Crossing,
everyone
but
like to-
Daniel needs to give us his 2021 prediction.
Oh.
Just have to say really quick though, has anyone seen the video of the dude doing the singing of that dude from Cadence? The guy that's always
No.
the sharp one. He's like, there's a dude legit singing. He's like doing all these things to his throat to get the sound. It's hilarious and my favorite thing.
Oh, that was me.
That's incredible.
Anyway, everyone look that up later. Sorry.
Great. My prediction's really lame. I think they're
didn't
gonna
shave
tease
today.
us. Sorry?
Did you shave today?
No, I did not.
I can tell.
You can tell I'm a little. You know what's
Does it
great
look like
about
I
it,
shaved
though?
today?
The day the day after I shave, if I have an itch, I could just go like this. Itch. There you go. Scratched it. It's-
I use an
it's
electric
perfect.
one though.
It's perfect. It's like sandpaper.
What do you guys
Anyways,
use?
my
Do
prediction
you
is
guys
very
use a
lame.
normal razor or an electric one, Tubes?
I use a normal.
No, I'm talking about
Acoustic-
Tubes and Geek
acoustic
when they
razor.
shave their face.
I use a not electric razor
Oh,
when I shave my mustache.
Yeah,
Nice.
my peach fuzz.
no, okay, Daniel.
Okay.
Your
2021.
your prediction. Someone's gonna click on this video
That's-
being like, "Oh, Nintendo 2021 predictions,
They're-
neat,"
And that's.
and they're
Yep.
like,
Metroid.
"Why
That's
are
my
they talking
prediction.
about coffee shops in Animal Crossing for an hour?"
Even drink coffee, but I love Brewster.
Oh dear.
Okay, Daniel.
It's Metroid. Just
You
they're
think
gonna
they're
Yeah,
gonna tease it?
Metroid.
they're gonna tease it. It's just a
Prime-
tease.
At this rate, Metroid's gonna
Hunters.
happen before Halo Infinite, so we got that going on.
Metroid Prime Hunters, DS
And
remake
Prime
for
2 had
Switch.
to compete with Halo 2. They came out around the same time.
What?
Well, it was actually kind of like a meme on Twitter today because Halo Infinite just got delayed again, and people were like, "Halo delayed Infinite."
Oh no.
And then there was a poll that was like, "What game do you think's gonna come out first? Metroid 4, or is it going to be Halo Infinite? And then Joey Ferris was like, are you guys really that stupid that you think we're gonna get Metroid before Halo? So
Yeah.
He's got a point. Metroid games take an infamously long time.
Like
They're
this
notorious
game
for
already
taking
had
a long time to come out.
Yeah, this game already had a trailer, a release date, visuals, images, promotional material, and Metroid
Yeah.
had a title that was then removed.
A logo, and then they're like, we're starting
With
over.
flames behind
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's like,
It was, yeah.
so you think Metroid?
I think they're just gonna tease something. That's my only prediction. I think we're getting to the point where what year was it? 2018 that they announced it was delayed and they were restarting development. So like
Yeah.
3 years of development later, I feel like Retro Studios they've got their stuff together. They do really great work. I feel like that's enough time for them to at least give us a trailer. Sure.
What was the last game
I think
Retro made?
Pikmin game they said was almost
last-
done.
The last game that Retro Studios published was Tropical Freeze.
Jinx.
So
Oh.
they've had time to do stuff. Like
Jeez, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. And then sure, they probably worked on just porting it from the Wii U to Switch. But like, what else have they been doing all this time?
So like, if we got a remake, what do you think it would be? Like Prime Hunters?
A remake of a Metroid game?
Do you remember the DS
have to be-
Prime game? The one that everyone
I don't think
forgets?
they're going to do that. I would say, like, a lot of people want Samus Returns from the
Or
3DS.
the
but I
other
feel like that
3DS
takes-
game, the sports
What?
ball one.
Metroid Prime Pinball?
No, the sports ball one.
Oh, the Federation Force. The
Yeah.
Blast Ball. No, I don't think that's
I remember.
The thing is, okay,
Can I say really quick?
all right.
It was a legendary interview with Reggie. I think it was the
yes.
guy that hosts the
it was
Game Awards.
Reginald Dairy.
Yeah, and they were like,
Legendary.
they're basically talking about a bunch of stuff, and he brings up Metroid Prime Federation Force, and Reggie was like, "We know what game the Metroid fans want."
Mm-hmm. It's because they couldn't announce it
And-
yet.
Yeah, like it was really weird. It was like we know what they want, and like he couldn't say anything else. So
Yeah.
he was basically saying like, we know they don't want this game, but in the meantime, it's all you have. But we do know what you want, and we are working on it. We just can't say it. It was just like a really weird interview where like he accidentally slipped up, and then he just couldn't finish his sentence.
He couldn't recover. Marketing
Yeah.
team was probably hating on him. But realistically, I don't think they're going to port Samus Returns from 3DS, despite what a lot of people want, because to port a 3DS game to the Switch,
Yeah, it was
it's
so
not just
hard
like
with
retexturing
Hyrule
it. They gotta
Warriors
add
and the Yoshi
polygons.
game.
Woolly World was like down. Okay, when they ported Woolly World from Wii U to 3DS, they were basically like scaling the game down. But to scale a 3DS game up to Switch, it's gonna look like hot garbage unless they basically completely redo all the visuals and not just retexturing and up-resing. They have to like add more polygon counts to everything. Because even like honestly, Samus Returns is a very fun game, but it's kind of ugly. I'm just putting it out there. Like it's graphically
One
not
thing
that
though,
great.
when they make the textures for the 3DS games, like they make them in like high quality, and then they downsample them to fit the 3DS game. So like they're not spending all their time making crappy looking textures. Like they look really good, and then they just downsample them so they'll fit on like the 240p
Right.
screen. So they
I just don't
still
think that
have
would
the
still
high
be
quality
100%
images. They just can't use them.
The thing is, like, Samus Returns art style in general, I think is good. Like, you look at the promotional stuff and like the renders that they've done for like advertisement purposes and the cover art and stuff, and it's gorgeous. And then you play the game and you're like, oh,
What if they
Great.
bought MSR2?
MSR2? What? Are you talking about AM2R?
Yeah, AM2. What MSR2?
AM2R was a fan project.
Yeah, what
though.
if they bought it? Like the
If they
Sonic.
bought it?
Yeah, like the Sonic guys. They paid the
This
guys that was
Nintendo
making
we're
the
talking
Sonic
about.
fan game, and then they got Sonic.
Oh, right. So like Sonic
Mania.
Mania, where
Yeah.
Sega actually hired a bunch of Sonic fans who were doing like Sonic fan mods. And
Yeah,
then
they were making the fan
got them to make
games.
their actual, and it was
Yeah.
like the best Sonic game ever created.
So what if they got that? What if they just bought
That's
that game
saying
from that
something.
dude?
I don't think Nintendo would do that. I don't know. Nintendo's protective of their IPs, where Sega's like, they're Sega. They do things in a very different way. So
Alright.
I don't know. I don't
Okay.
see that happen. But yeah, anyways, I don't think it'll be
Okay.
Samus Returns. I think it'll be Prime Trilogy if they were to port one game, like port any games over, because that just
If
seems
they
to make
port
the most
one
sense.
game over, it's going to be Prime Trilogy.
It'll be
if
Like
it's one game,
was
it'll
like,
be
that
three.
was sold as like one Wii game was Prime Trilogy. That's what I choose. If you do any other game, like any other game, you could just put on
Motion
like a
controls?
classic system. Super Metroid, boom, it's on the Super Nintendo Classic games, all that are on the Switch already, right?
What about the other one?
Which other one?
Metroid.
Fusion?
No,
Zero Mission?
on Wii.
There's other Metroid games.
The one
What?
where they like
Oh,
completely.
Other M?
Yeah, yeah.
I try not to think about that. I haven't played it.
They had a cool
Which is
trailer.
worse,
I forget.
Other M or Hey Pikmin?
Hey,
Okay, at least
you
Other
don't
M has
talk
Defenders.
bad about
That's-
Daniel's favorite game.
Other M has Defenders. I've never heard someone be like, "Hey, Pikmin's a good game." I don't.
Hello.
Hey, Pikmin.
It's all over
I don't
Twitter
understand.
that Daniel loves Hey Pikmin. Like you can find
Stop.
that quote all over Twitter. Daniel loves Hey Pikmin. It's there.
It breaks my heart.
It's everywhere.
I honestly, I bought
The
the
name
game.
of
I
this
tried
video could be
objectively.
Daniel loves Hey
I
Pikmin.
wanted to see
never
if
know.
it was good.
The future.
Everyone was talking badly about it. I went in with an open mind, and it's not good. Okay, it's not a good game.
See, he's one of those people
not.
when he lies. As soon as he gets out of view of people, he has to like start like physically hurting himself to make up for all the lies that he's saying.
Break my heart.
Yeah. So like every time he says I hate Hey Pikmin, he like has a belt that he just hits himself on the back with.
What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I don't know
No.
why you do it.
You make me sad.
I don't know. I was watching this
That's
Orthodox Jewish movie thing, and like they were doing it
What?
because they were doing bad
That's
stuff.
random.
what?
It was
Anyways,
like it was like the 90s.
I am definitely
Orthodox
not.
Jewish. They had cool hats,
That's not me. Anyways, I don't.
not the beards.
Hey, Pikmin was not a good one. And if
Yeah.
Miyamoto comes out and says that was Pikmin 4, guys, I will cry every day. But there was Pikmin 3 Deluxe was announced. That wasn't in our news slate, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Pikmin?
Nope.
It wasn't. It should be, guys. Pikmin 3 Deluxe is coming out. It looks really good. There's Pikmin 3 is my favorite Pikmin game, and they're porting it to Switch. The game is like just really good looking game.
Okay,
even
so
for
how
a
are you
Wii
gonna do
game,
the
it looks
top-down
beautiful.
thing?
And they're adding more features to it. They're adding an extra chapter, a prologue, and an epilogue to the game where you play as Olimar and Louis instead
How
of
are you
Alf,
doing
Brittany,
the
and
top-down
Charlie.
thing?
And there's going to be new challenge missions, and they're adding co-op mode to the story mode, and it looks really
How are
good,
you
guys. And I'm
doing the
very
top-down?
excited. Sorry, what?
When you're playing the
Okay.
game on the TV, you have the normal
Yeah.
thing that you'll see on
yeah.
the Switch, but then on the
Yeah.
gamepad you have the top-down view.
Okay, so that's just your map, though.
Yeah,
That's all it is. It's
but
like
it's
your
like
map.
it's a
You
really
can just
cool
pause.
top-down view.
And when you want to look at the map anyways, and you touch it, it pauses anyways. So you just pause the game, and then it put the map on the TV. Problem solved. It's like what I assume Breath of the Wild was gonna be. They had the map on the gamepad, and then they cut that, and they're like, you know what, just pause.
Like
and the
Wind
map
Waker
comes
and
up.
Twilight Princess.
Yeah, yeah. I assume it's just gonna be the same thing. They
But it
just
wasn't.
change it.
It wasn't a map. It was like the actual. Like it was better than a map. It was like the models,
Well,
right?
It was better than the map because it was like actually like a. No, it was just like a map. I was actually just playing this game earlier today because I was like, I want to play Pikmin now.
Of course
Pikmin
you
3
were.
was- so, anyway, it is your map, but what's nice about it is that you can command, like you can tell your teammates to go do stuff.
Why do you
Like,
think
can
they're
point-
waiting to
You can
release
put a
it?
spot on the map and then tell them to walk there, and then you can go do something else, and then they'll be like, okay, I walked to where I was gonna walk. Now what?
Do
And
you,
it's-
do you think this was a game they were
Good.
always going to release, or do you think like the virus happened and they were like, oh, we need to like
we need
release
some
something
games.
fast? Like what can we do in a hurry? And they were like, oh, we can like make extra content for Pikmin. Do you think that like something like that could have happened?
I don't know, but I'm very excited about it. Okay. And honestly, like it feels like that full retail price tag is a lot more justified because they're actually adding a bunch of stuff to it,
Yeah.
including like extra chapters to the story mode.
Yeah, but no top-down
That
map.
feels. I'm okay with. The thing is though, like playing games on the Wii U where having the 2 screens is vital.
Do you think we'll get
Is
a
actually
Hey
like
Pikmin
it takes
collection?
me out of the game a little bit.
Like if they just got all the Hey Pikmin games and put them together on one collection.
There's only one. There's only one.
Yeah, so like it'd be easy for them.
I just
He's out. Look what you've done.
I'm trying to break him.
why?
So that's why it's the
Jesse
best game
asking
in
me
the world.
questions about Hey Pikmin
Yeah.
is my personal
Like,
purgatory.
If we made the perfect top 5 Hey Pikmin collection, what games do you think would be on there?
Oh no!
The heck?
This is a great segment.
What's
in
the
which
next
You're just
topic?
terrible the entire time.
What's the next topic?
I haven't even looked at the Google Doc.
I don't think we have a next topic. I think we're hopping into the mailbag.
Okay, let's do that, shall we?
Oh yeah,
It's
we
weird
got
because like
the
we
top
didn't
2
really like
questions.
structure our topics, but we still touched base on a lot of important topics that have happened
Yeah.
recently.
True.
It's what happens when you turn a weekly podcast into a monthly podcast.
Big. Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah,
Big
no longer best
right.
Zelda podcast in the world.
No, it still is. It's more of a treasure because you don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
that's true.
You don't know when
That's
you're going to
true.
get sick, people. Wash your hands.
Love us for
Wear a
what
mask.
we
Wash your
are.
hands.
Daniel and Layla will take over the channel.
It's me and a 4-year-old. Not my 4-year-old.
Someone else's 4-year-old.
It's not even your own kid.
Confusing.
What's the first question? I think it's from... That's it for now, but a lot of rumors, news, and details are slowly leaking out. So please, stay subscribed and notified, and join our Discord to make sure you stay up to date on all Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 news. And you can find our Zelda podcast, the 𝐓𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫, here on YouTube and on iTunes, where we have had many guests who have worked on the Zelda series, and have shared a lot of amazing stories about voice acting, such as Patricia Somerset voice acting as Zelda, Mike Drucker on Zelda's writing or translation team, coming up with the jokes in the game, stories behind the names of characters that he created. Please subscribe and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you. If you are a fan of our Zelda videos like this, Zelda Theories, our Zelda podcast, the 𝐓𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫 on iTunes, we would all really appreciate your support at patreon.com/GameOverJesse. That